So I would be the Vaseline. Ross is no Vaseline.
When Logan swallows, does it ever throw him out of ketosis?
Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another Q&A. If you are new to this channel, my name is Logan Delgado, aka Goody Beats. I am a proud father, proud husband, and I lost a total of 70 pounds utilizing the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. And we got special guests.
Yes, my name is Ross, and if you don't know me, my name is Ross Flane. I'm a shameful, low-life loser who gained 70 pounds eating carbohydrates.
Loser. So today, guys, we are doing a Q&A. So Ross and I said, ask us anything. This Q&A can be anything from fitness to business, relationship, life. It doesn't matter. We obviously don't even know what you guys asked us. We posted the question on our Instagram. Boom, follow us both on Instagram if you're not following us already. Just beware though, Ross is very, let's just say different from me.
Yeah. Which makes good yin and yang.
Yes, exactly. So I would be the Vaseline. Ross is no Vaseline. So let's just get into the first question. This is question number one. Shocker. Are you guys natty? Are we natty? Well, that is a very simple answer for me, because when I was born, my earth parents found me on a ship, which I was wrapped in material from my home planet, which my mom then made into a blanket that I wear underneath my clothes every single day. So, no, I would say so. To answer that for me.
Yeah, and with all the animal products I've consumed over my course of 30 years of being an American, there's no way I am natural. I've consumed more hormones than anyone probably at my age, or fellow 30-year-old bodybuilders.
Absolutely, and all the artificial
chemicals, sweeteners, chemicals, plastics. There's so many unnatural things in my body.
Absolutely not. Okay.
Well, first question, and we can just say one-word answers and then go. Who's bottom?
Okay, I'm bottom. Okay,
I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to make him, feel embarrassed. But this is actually a good question. How to catch misleading nutritional labels, labels that seem low calorie but aren't. This is a great question and right up my alley because this is sort of my field. There's a lot of things that go into label creations and regulations. To give you some background. My wife and I own a couple companies. One of them is the Gaines Bakery, and we're actually rebranding our sauces into another company. So we're going through new rounds of labels and regulations and working with the FDA and all that stuff. And there's so many rules that companies don't even follow, and it gets really tricky. And there's really a gray area with the FDA. They allow companies to basically lie about 20% on their labels. It's the law. They're allowed to do that. So I would make sure that you are reading everything, like from the top to the bottom, back and front. Make sure that you are going off of the gram or milliliter serving size and not the tablespoon or cup or half cup, because the half cup measurements or the cup measurements can really be anything. Like a half cup of paprika could be 15 grams or could be 400 grams. It's really just go from the specific measurements. And don't read the front of the labels. That face is where they sell you.
Yeah, that's advertisement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, great question. So he answered. He pretty much answered. No need for me to regurgitate what he said. Good question. How's business been going this year so far? So I'll answer that, and I'll be completely honest with you guys. So I am in the ketogenic, I would say space. industry. I mean, I do own a company called Keto Coach, and I am known for keto on YouTube and keto coaching and whatnot. And we're down 30%. You know, keto is just not as popular as it once was. Now, that being said, I don't think that keto is dying. It's not going anywhere. Diabetes is going nowhere. So people are always going to have the need to either intermittent fast, do keto, or, you know, eat healthy, right? Eat whole food. So I don't think that's going anywhere. And especially with COVID,
that affected everyone.
And all COVID did is just slap us in the face and just realize and remind everybody how important being healthy is. I know we could get into this big, long discussion from the correlations to people that have passed away from COVID all had underlying health issues like diabetes, and diabetes is rampant here in America, which is why our numbers are so high, and there's a correlation there somewhere, right? But eating healthy is always going to be important, and so that's why I truly believe keto is going nowhere. But I just think, you know, it's just not what it used to be like in 2019. So again, and that's the way business is going to work. But you're going to have up years, down years. All you do is make adjustments, and that's what we're currently doing. So that is the honest truth on where business is for me.
For me, we had our best year ever, and just going off of his point, you know, a saying that our entire culture at Gaines Bakery has is winners adjust. So COVID was horrible, but if you looked at it the other side, it gave people and businesses a chance to pivot and look at everything in a different perspective and adjust. So that's what we did, and you know, I implore everyone to adjust when given adversity. Can you be in a calorie deficit for too long?
Yes, absolutely. I think especially if your calories are super, super low, you can really end up screwing up your metabolism and getting yourself in this really bad relationship with food. Because then when you do have a coach and they hit you with, okay, here's your meal plan, I'm putting you at 2,600 calories. You're like, 26, dude, you're gonna make me fat. And you're like, no, this is what you should have been eating, not 1,400 calories. And so then you're freaked out, right? Because you have this really awful relationship with food because you've been in such a calorie deficit, and you think that's what it takes to be skinny or lean or whatever the reason why you're doing it. So yes, I truly believe you can. And again, we're both bodybuilders. We don't stay in a calorie deficit all the time. For the most part, I would say we're in maintenance or calorie surplus for a majority of
the year.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking at like a coaching perspective, so I do a lot of diet coaching, probably all of my clients come to me and they're in a severe calorie deficit for so long. So what happens in that, your metabolism will be crap. Your relationship or view on food will be negative or not as healthy as it should be. And your hormones are going to be trash. You're not going to want to eat. You're not going to have any energy. And then there's like a ramp up time where you're not really able to eat what your body needs until you acclimate to that, which takes time. So yes, again.
Yeah, this is a good one. Think back to before you were consistent. What was your accountability like?
Well, before
we started like getting consistent with, you know, being accountable, I'm assuming that's what he meant. What was your accountability like?
Oh,
okay. So for me, the way I read the question was like, before you built these healthy habits, going to the gym, cardio, eating right. What did you do to stay accountable? And I'll be completely honest, I wasn't. I was so hit or miss. It wasn't until I got a coach that kept me accountable, you know, reminded me, I need to be doing this, I need to be drinking my water, are you training? My accountability was very spotty. If you just go back and look at my 2019, every meal was either Hays County barbecue, jalapenos, poppers,
and 19 egg Jason Deli.
Just Jason's Deli, 1,500 calories. Majority of that's ranch. And I thought like, hey, it's keto friendly, and that's what I'm going to eat. And now you guys never see me eat that anymore. It's very eating frequently more meals, but very small meals, clean meals. And so my accountability was just all over the place.
For me, it's literally the exact same. I'd have a coach for a diet, like a diet contest or a diet phase, and then after that, I would just eat crap, skip the gym, skip cardio for sure, and then I had a bunch of issues with binge eating and cheating and, hating myself after, eating like crap until I hired a coach for the full year, and literally all my problems went away just from staying on a diet. When Logan swallows, does it...
This could be on your channel.
When Logan swallows, does it ever throw him out of ketosis? Well, it depends on how many pineapples I've had the night before, higher blood glucose levels.
I check every time, and I'm still like 1.0, so I'm still in ketosis, so yeah.
When are the sauces going to be 10 for 100 like the old times? This is a great question. Like I alluded to or mentioned in the beginning of the video, we are actually currently rebranding our sauces. And along with the rebranding is going to be different sauces, different price points, different sales, a whole different thing, because we're actually going to be organized and have legit systems. So probably in the next, 3 months or so on that.
How can I motivate myself more to work out? So let's just strictly talk about motivation, because you and I, we kind of regurgitate, beat this all over that, and then we'll talk about why we do. One way to motivate you is find a type of workout or training that you enjoy doing, that you don't need motivation to go do. When I started CrossFit, I just wanted to try it, just to see what the hoopla was about. Let me see if I like it. I did it. It was cool. But I started to see that I needed motivation to go, and I started to need reasons to go, and I started making excuses not to go. And that right there was, okay, I don't like this. This is not my type of training. I miss bodybuilding. I miss going back and training the way I love to train, that I never needed an excuse to go to or needed motivation to go do. So my best advice is find some type of training, exercise, workouts, whatever that may be, physical activity that you love and thoroughly enjoy doing, that you don't need motivation to go.
Same exact answer, but I'm going to take it one step further. A lot of the times people don't enjoy something because frankly they're not good at it, or they don't know how to do it. Like I'm sure, did you play video games back in the day? Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's been games where you go at your friend's house and you're just getting destroyed and you hate it.
It's not fun.
It's not fun because you're just getting destroyed all the time. And then you learn how to do it, like especially with card games like poker. You're not going to like poker if you don't know how to play. Yeah. But once you learn how to play and learn how to do things properly, then you can actually see progress and get the rewards and the positive benefits that come along with the thing. So if you don't like working out, maybe it's because you don't know how to work out. Maybe you don't like squats because they hurt your knees. Well, it's probably because you're not squatting properly, Considering fat and carbs are both energy sources, which does the body utilize better? This is it's probably like a loaded question.
Yeah, so so there's different opinions on this, but this is what I believe in. Your body is naturally going to prefer carbohydrates, and I think number one, because that is pretty much what 99% of the world has used from like birth until however old you are, is carbohydrates, because they're everywhere and everyone eats carbs, right? And so you're so used to that, and your body just gets used to using carbohydrates. But once you flip the switch and go to ketones, there's a reason why you don't crash. There's a reason why you don't have that afternoon nap or that need to take that afternoon nap. You have steady energy throughout the day. And I think because it's a more of a cleaner burn, a cleaner source of energy for your body. So I think running off of fat is better, but I think your body probably prefers carbs, or somehow like mentally you prefer running off carbs.
Yeah, Great answer. Totally agree. I'll just elaborate on it a little bit. So glucose is easier to digest, easier to uptake in terms of the energy metabolism. But another analogy is a car. So majority of the cars are run on unleaded gasoline. So quick fuel, and it allows your car to go above 120 miles per hour. Yet your miles per gallon are like anywhere between 20 to 35 on average, you'd say, right?
Yeah.
For an average car. Hydrogen, on the other hand, you're not going to have the same output in terms of miles per hour, but you're able to drive like 90 miles to the gallon. So it's a much cleaner, steadier energy flow rather than the peaks and valleys of an unleaded gasoline.
Next question. How did you meet your bro crush, Ross? Great question. Well, Ross would comment on every single leg day, squat day. Like he would send me like peach emojis, looking great. I really want to coach you, bro. You're looking great. Just in the DMs, like really, like he just kept DMing me, and
that's not true. Actually, I don't know, because so I know when around the time we met, I was working at the cafe, and what's sort of weird or interesting about me is when I'm cooking or really focused, I look and appear like a complete asshole. Like I don't smile. I'm like straight to business. And our kitchen is real open, so I don't really look that inviting to talk to. I don't know where we actually met, but I do remember the first time we had a meeting when we sat down at the counter. But I don't know.
Yeah, so it all started because Elena commented and said it's time for you to compete, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure if I do. I'll hit up Ross for coaching, because Ross had just got done doing his November show 2 years ago. And I finally messaged her. I said, yep, it's time. Keto Cut 2019 or 2020. Let's go. I'm gonna do a show, and I want Ross to coach me. And then that's how Ross and I started talking. And then here we are.
This is a really good one, probably my favorite one. What is the process of making a new sauce? Choosing a flavor to begin with, and I'll sort of broaden that horizon so Logan can answer that too. But we'll just say, what's the new process? What's the process of making a new product, new video, content, or anything? That way Logan can answer, because obviously he only makes one type of sauce, but
Ross's favorite.
So for me, it comes with a couple different methods. It's just like making music. So one of my other hobbies is I play guitar and I make my own music. Same sort of thing. I'll have an idea or a flavor in mind. Like I just did one with like an orange dragon sauce is what we're gonna call it. My company sort of gears towards the mass or the more comfortable flavors that people are comfortable with. Like everyone knows that the Chinese takeout food from Panda Express, everyone knows the orange chicken. So I wanted to recreate that in a much healthier, zero sugar way that's just in your face orange, in your face sweet. And then I'll just get to the quote unquote lab, mess around with some ingredients, offer different samples to my staff, and then we just go from there. But it's usually just some sort of inspiration or thought, like, ooh, you know what'd be really good? Let's roast some jalapenos and throw some cilantro and, throw some mint in there and just play around and experiment until something works.
I think the best way to create something or come out with a new product, a new whatever that may be, is to create something that you wish you had.
Yes.
Right? Like, you're like, damn, if I just had
That's actually
this.
great.
If I just had this, instead of going out and looking for it, freaking create it yourself. Find out what it's going to take to create it yourself and make it your own. Because I guarantee you, if you want that, trust me, the world is big enough to have another group of people who want the same exact thing that you want, and they're just sitting around waiting for somebody to create it. Well, there you go. You created it, and now people want it, and it just grows from there. So I think that's one of the number one things on how to create and successfully create a new product.
That's actually the best answer, because Gaines Bakery, I have all these issues with food and different goals with food. I cannot go anywhere out to eat.
He's a little bitch when it comes to like anything.
It's true. No exaggeration. I can't go anywhere without eating a meal that is up to my standards for palate and up to my needs, digestion, and goal-wise. So Elena and I were like, let's just fucking do it ourselves. We know that there's millions of other people out there that literally get dragged to these restaurants and they hate their food, they hate their service, and they hate themselves after they eat it. Analyze your competition. Simple fix. Create something.
Question, will you compete in 2021? So that still is in the plan. If you asked me before the year started, absolutely. Let's go. I'm competing. I already got the show. I know what I'm going to do. But a lot of stuff has been going around in the background. A lot of stuff that I haven't talked about. I did plan on making a video today discussing one of the things that has been going on. I'll kind of just briefly give you a little like trailer, whatever, to it. But I have not been myself lately, and we just found out why. So we'll discuss that in another video. But also with that, a lot of things on the back end, company-wise, work-wise, family-wise, relationship-wise. Currently building a home, if you haven't seen that as well. So there's just a lot of stuff going on in the back of the scenes, that when you compete, all that has to take a back seat to competing. It has to be your number one focus, and everything else comes behind it. And so at the point that I'm at in my life right now, I can't afford to do that. I don't have the option to put competing in front of my work, my business, my relationship, my family, and everything else that's going on. That has to take a back seat. And if I could figure these things out, get everything kind of like pieced together, then yes. I'm not going to say no, it's not, but because I do thoroughly want to compete. It was fun. I had a blast. I want to do it again. And I really, really want to win my first show or win a show. But yeah, so that's just the honest truth. I think there's just a lot of stuff going on for me right now.
So I'm going to answer this, and I'm not going to agree with him on this because I've agreed on everything he said. So I'm going to play the part of a co-host here, and I'm going to disagree with him. So just for entertainment purposes, not that I'm saying he should do this, but there's some insight here. So what he's saying basically, in short, is that there's a bunch of chaos, like molecules, okay? Just like this. This over here, this. The reason why there's chaos is that there's nothing to confine the chaos. There's no structure. So I know for me personally, I've been competing a while. I know that everything in my life, no matter how stressful, how chaotic, how much chaos, crazy shit going on, if my day is structured, like blocked out to the minute, to the hour, to the day, I can contain and control that chaos. Is it easy? Hell no. But I think that in some situations and individuals, it can actually control that chaos and harness the power of that and allow you to really dominate different sectors of your life. So suck it.
Yeah, I definitely need structure, for sure.
If you grow better in your lower body, should you train your upper body more to balance your physique? This is a great question, and it is a topic that is covered a lot. And if you don't know anything about me, I, to a fault, cannot look at anything or analyze anything without logic. Like, I literally cannot. It doesn't make sense to me. So training, in my opinion, training something more or doing something more does not lead to more of whatever you're chasing. So, if you want bigger biceps, training your biceps more is not going to, if you train your biceps once a week, training them twice a week, you think they're going to double in size or get any growth? Well, if you have that same mindset, why don't you just train every single day to get maximum results?
Yeah.
Right? It's not. Instead of training more, train better. Train your upper body better. More rest, maybe more food. Analyze how you're doing the motions, how you're squeezing, how you're contracting. Analyze your upper body training first, rather than just, because you don't want to do double the amount of shitty work. You want one solid session of the best you can do.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
And for the most part, like, it's always the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always guys are just huge on top and their legs are tiny. And so it's like, yeah, bro, like, you need to train those legs more. Like, right? You train them once a week, train them 3 times a week. But at the same time, yes, train them right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, legs are one of those things where it's hard to go in there and just kick yourself in the balls every day. And when you train legs, or when you train legs, right? When you get tired, like, okay, that was it. Well, no, it's just getting started. Keep pushing. Yes, train right, train correctly, but yeah, train more.
And I'll give you, actually, maybe if I have a chance, I'll maybe send Logan my before and after pictures. I was always lower body heavy. And then my upper body is now bigger or the same size as my upper body. I used to train my arms, so back and biceps, I always did that, chest and triceps, and then I have an arm day. So I was hitting my arms 3 times a week, minimum, because you'll use some arms on your delt day. But direct work 3 times a week, your arms are the smallest muscle group, so they can't tolerate that much work. My arms never grew. So I actually did the reverse. I took the biceps out of back day, triceps out of chest day, and I just did an arm day. And it was like 6 exercises, 3 and 3, and my arms literally blew up in a year, like totally. Same with my chest. So sometimes less is more.
If I'm losing weight on keto, will creatine affect in some way?
Yes, you may gain weight, but that's not a bad thing, because weight is not really what you want to focus on. You may maybe hold or retain some water, but it's not going to have you gain fat. It actually may increase fat loss because it's an energy source, which would allow you to output more energy in the workouts.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you may gain weight, but I think what people consider weight as what they're registering is fat.
Yeah.
Will I gain fat? No. Will you gain weight? Yes. But again, it's not a bad thing.
I was born with lopsided shoulders. Could this mean I'm genetically imbalanced? Well, you answered your own question. You were born with it. So yes. How often do I stretch? Should I stretch right after training or any time? Do you want to?
Yeah, so I don't stretch at all either, and I didn't start getting into stretching until I met Ross, and where you would literally have to get to the workout 15 or 20 minutes early to roll out, do some type of stretching on the foam roller, the medicine, not medicine ball, whatever,
Lacrosse
ball, and just roll out and fascia smash whatever area that you're going to be training, which is very important. So yes, you should, and I would do it before.
Okay, yeah, I always do it before, but there's different types of stretching, and without getting too scientific, I'm gonna get scientific, so you have to bear with me here. So you have your muscle fibers. Well, around your muscle fibers, you have fascia, which constrict and tighten and lengthen and shorten the muscles. Over time, that gets tight. So what you want to do is you want to release that tension through fascia release, or I call fascia smashing. So like those Theraguns, foam rollers, PVC pipes, lacrosse balls. What you want to do is you want to make that muscle and the fascia real smooth before you stretch. And this is why. I'm sure you guys have, really old underwear or really old athletic shorts or socks that have elastic waistbands. Well, over time, whether wearing it, taking it off, washing it, drying it, that elasticity of the band loosens, and your socks, your pants don't come back to normal. That same thing happens in your muscles. And when you guys do a static stretch like this or like that without doing the fascia release, what you're doing is essentially stretching out those elastic muscle fibers to a point where they're not able to recoil and work properly. So if you're stretching, you always want to release the fascia and then corrective stretch after you release. And that's what I do.
Nice.
One more? Best one.
Yeah, let's do two more. Okay, this is a good one. How much salt do you use daily if you had to guesstimate? So when I was on a strict meal plan with Ross during my cutting phase, I was on strict salt intake where I had to measure it every single day. And so every single meal I want to say was 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then double that before training for my pre-workout meal. So I'm not even sure what that comes out to.
Yeah, it's
in the day.
Maybe like 5 grams, I think, maybe like that.
But yes, very strict on salt. Now it's more of a guesstimation,
And that's added salt too.
Yeah, add salt to the meals that because most of the time the meals I get were from Gaines Bakery, already have it on there. So that's get my meal, go to the pink Himalayan salt or the Redmond's Royal salt, and measure it out. So,
I do 1/2 a teaspoon every meal, and then 2 servings of a salt electrolyte formula. And sodium gets such a bad rap from doctors because honestly, doctors are ignorant. Sodium is an essential mineral for your body. It helps with hormones. It helps with muscular contractions and functions. It helps with water retention, your kidneys, all types of stuff. So the important thing about sodium is make sure your sodium intake reflects your water intake and try to aim for consistent levels in sodium. So what happens is if you eat a clean diet, especially a clean keto diet, and you do a clean diet for 10, 14, 20 days, and then you go out to a Chinese buffet or fast food or anything preserved, their sodium values are astronomical because they have to preserve the food for extended amount of time. Your weight and your sodium levels are going to skyrocket. High blood pressure, you can feel swollen.
Yeah.
That's the stuff you need to avoid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you guys are listening to any doctors, the reason why they tell you if you have high blood pressure to cut out your sodium is because they either know or don't know that the American diet is full of high sodium preserved foods.
Yeah.
And the Americans don't drink any water. So their sodium levels are so high, their water intake is so low that they're not able to flush out the water from your body. That's why sodium gets a bad rap.
Yep. All right, this is a good one. Help me understand bulking and cutting and how to use them. I'm so confused.
Well, I can see why it's confused. There's a bunch of different opinions out there. You want to
sure?
Help this?
So, yeah,
just define.
I guess why do people do it? Why do people bulk? Why do people cut? So I guess the main reason why people bulk is they want to build more muscle, right? So you want to build more muscle. Typically, that means that you're going to be in a calorie surplus. Your training may change a little, and the whole goal in that phase or that time period is to try to gain as much muscle as possible before you go into your cutting phase, which is typically people want to get cut for the summer. They're going to be outside at summertime. They're going on vacation. You're going to have your shirt off, so you want to look good. Typically in the wintertime, there's no reason for you to have your shirt off. If you live in Texas, that's another story. But for the most part, you're always bundled up, so you might as well eat some food because no one's going to see you with the shirt off. So that is the whole theory with bulking and cutting. For someone like Ross and I, bulking and cutting is getting ready for shows, a competition, a photo shoot, whatever that may be. And it's completely opposite, right? You're in a calorie deficit for the most part. You're doing more cardio. Your training's probably going to change somewhat. And again, that's all to look your best with your shirt off, photo shoot. And that is why people bulk and cut. Now, whatever you're going to pick and freaking commit. I see so many people, they bulk for 5 weeks and screw this, man. I'm getting too fat. I'm going on them. This is like this is what everybody does. Oh, I'm going on a mini cut. Mm-hmm. Sorry, bro. Mini cut.
Yep.
Whatever. New series on YouTube, guys. Mini cut coming up. What the hell is a mini cut? Just like there's no such thing as a mini cut or a mini bulk. Like just commit. Just do it. Mini cut to me means I'm quitting for a little bit, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna quit.
They're stopping both directions before they like get the maximum benefits. Like a mini bulk would be it's not enough time to put on any muscle. Like putting on muscle is 10 times harder than losing fat. So that's why my off season is like 12 months, 18 months, and I'm cutting for a third of that or a quarter of that.
Yeah.
Just to elaborate a little bit. So we have maintenance calories. That's based on our BMR, which is our basal metabolic rate. That's how many calories Logan needs to eat on a daily basis just to survive and maintain his current composition and body fat and body weight. So if his maintenance calories are at 2,000, well, if he eats below that or he does activity that puts him in a deficit, so less than 2,000, he will lose weight, he will lose fat. The surplus is at 2,000 with more money. If he's not eating any money, it's probably why he's not getting any bigger. If he eats above the 2,000, now he's going to be in a surplus. He can grow. And the whole concept of bulking versus cutting is because when you're in a deficit, your muscle gets spared. So you're not able to build any muscle, quote unquote. That's what they say. You're not able to build muscle in a deficit. I sort of disagree. But the bulking allows you to preserve your muscle and then grow on top of it.
Yeah, so that is understanding.
But usually what he said, people do it for 5 weeks or whatever.
They don't like the way they look.
They don't like the way they look. And then sometimes they'll just decide to do it because they want to eat like an asshole. And they're trying to justify it. I was one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to bulk for my next show. And I found myself at Five Guys every single day. Like every day, Five Guys. 2 double bacon cheeseburgers with a fry.
Yeah.
$100 a month at Five Guys.
It's very easy to justify.
And that's why you need a coach.
Everything when you are in a bulking phase. Very easy to justify because you're just like, what does it matter? I'm bulking.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter if I'm missing cardio, I'm bulking.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if this not what I should be eating, I'm bulking. So that is the gist of it. So understand what you want to do, what are your goals, what's the end game, what is your ultimate plan, and decide if you're going to bulk, then commit. Commit for minimum 5, 6, 7 months, and then do your cut to get ready for the summertime or whatever that may be for your vacation. Questions, guys?
I've got a question for you. What?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
What do you give your children to drink? Before you answer that, I'm going to show him something. Look at how selfish he is. He is drinking his children's water. How dare you?
Yes.
How dare you?
I actually, so this is Camila's water. She finishes it. And so the only way that I'm able to drink the amount of water that Ross demands that I drink, because I don't drink enough water, the only way for me to know that I'm going to drink at least a minimum gallon is to just have it in a gallon.
And people always make fun of people with water gallons.
I
don't understand that.
It doesn't matter. To me, it does not matter. I will never get my water intake unless I put it in here. So yeah, I can drink it in one of these cups and just keep refilling it throughout the day. But at the end, I'm gonna lose count. Things are gonna happen. I'm gonna go in a meeting. I'm like, damn, what was that? Was that number 4 or 5?
Yep.
Crap. I don't know. Here, You can't forget. Like, it's you either drank it or you didn't, and then that's it.
This is a side rant. This is actually a great podcast topic or something. Someone asked me, what's the best diet? What's the one that works? And I'm sure the consensus would be whatever diet you can stick to, whatever one that works for you, whatever one that you can stick to and maintain and sustain. Well, the same thing goes with anything else in life. With working out, do whatever works. Do whatever you enjoy. If it takes Logan to drink water out of a water gallon jug in order to make sure he drinks enough water, then literally screw everyone that makes fun of that, because that's what he needs. Yeah. So before you judge people or say anything negative, sort of look at it the other perspective. Yeah. Like sometimes people need to do something in order for them to achieve their goal, or
even taking like fat burners, like that used to be like the number one question 2 years ago, right? Like, what fat burner do I need? You don't need a fat burner. Mm-hmm. But I know, but I just want to take a fat burner. Like, what should I get? If you taking that fat burner is going to get your ass to the gym, then here, this is what you need. Take it. And then look, they're taking it and they're getting to the gym. Now, people are going to like make fun of them, like, oh my God, you take a fat burner. But at the end of the day, take a step back. If they didn't take that fat burner or whatever that may be, their secret sauce or their secret drink, and if they didn't take that, then they wouldn't go to the gym. What's better? Yeah. Right? Like, what's at the end of the day, you're as a coach, you're just like, hey, shit, whatever. You got the extra cash. You're not. I don't pay the bills. You pay your bills. If you want to take the fat burner and that's going to get you to the gym and get you motivated and keep you on point, then by all means, take your fat burner or your pre-workout and go to the gym.
One more example. This is a prevalent topic. I always talk shit on the wearables, the watches that track your calories. Okay, they don't accurately display your calories at all. Mm-hmm. It's impossible. But here's the thing. If wearing this watch and you see, wow, I went to the gym for 60 minutes and I burned 400 calories. Yeah. That's going to make you feel good. That's going to, what Logan said, that's going to get you to the gym the next day. Yeah. And the next day after that, which is the exact point of what you're trying to do. Yeah. It really doesn't matter what the heck this says. It's all about going to the gym.
Yeah, and I know it works. And the reason why I know this watch works for people is because my mom got one for her birthday a couple of years ago, and she joined like a group of moms in her church group. And I walk into the house and my mom's like, I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I gotta get my steps in. I want to beat so and so. And I'm like, okay, like that's kind of stupid, but I mean, again, not stupid. I'm just like, oh, okay, but that's good. Like whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes. Like, yeah, I can hate on it and be like, Mom, just go to the gym. But no, she has never done that. Never talked about steps. Never talked about anything. And there she is going outside. I always take my mom on vacation with us because she's like our nanny. And there she is in the hotel, like I want to get my steps in. Like, hey, I'm gonna go take the girls for a walk. I'm like, watch that. I want to get my steps in. Okay, that's great. So,
and if she didn't wear the watch,
if she didn't wear the watch, she wouldn't do it because there's nothing motivating her or inspiring her or keeping her on track. So, yes, do whatever you need to do.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. So, in the words of the great Rich Piana, whatever it takes. Right,
God damn it. Yeah, cheeseburgers, baby.
All right, guys, so there you go. That is the Q&A. Thank you for watching. If you have any other questions, let us know in the comments below. Ross will most likely answer those comments because I'm too busy. But anyways, love you guys. See you on the next one. Peace.